Hello everyone, in this weighting podcast I want to talk about the issue with the smooth tool with making inverts kind of jump around on the screen. Now you can see here I'm painting weights on my, it's actually my second knuckle in here, but I'm blending between the first and the second. And you see how right now my weighting is actually really stark to this one joint here. So if I go over here and I smooth, you'll notice something weird happens. This vert just shoots straight out in the middle of nowhere. And if we look at that vert beforehand, I think it's this guy right here. When we go into the component editor, you can see, oh, this one's actually not the right one, it's this one right here. It has complete weight to the left middle one bind. And that's the problem we have on here. If I go through, and I'm going to turn auto update off so I can watch this happen. I select away, and then I go into my skin weights, and I smooth. And now I'm just going to click over to blend shape deformers and back so it refreshes itself. Why did it go to the hip? That's strange. It should never have done that. Normally I would just undo in this case, and then I'd go through the next process of fixing this. But if you ever kept on waiting and you had this, you could just zero this out, and it will go right back to where it was, like that. In this case, I will undo it, like that. Okay, so how do I fix this? Well, the problem here is that it doesn't know what the next joint we want to influence is. It should be going to this joint right here because we're paying influence on this one, the first ring finger. So what we do is we just add a little influence onto this one. See how it's completely black? So if I add a little weight here, like that, and now I go back to the other one. Let me actually select that so we can see that it has some weight. See, now those two do have proper weights. And now when I smooth, it shouldn't have a problem. This is always a possibility when you have an area you're painting that has no influence to it, especially if it's onto a single joint. Because right now it has no influence to this, and if this joint is the only thing with that influence, then the second joint it picks or the next joint it picks could be any joint in the system. It should be the next joint around, and most of the time it is. But in this case, you saw it did not. So mainly, if you get that issue, you have two lines of attack: undo and go and add weight, or B, you might have moved past and you didn't realize you had a little weight added to the wrong joint. Go in there, clean out those weights. Either dump them all back onto the original joint, like go in here and saying 100% here and then paint the other one back off, or go in and zero the little bad weights off and let them go back to the original one. But that's pretty much, I'm glad I could show you that because that's actually a really hard thing. I've had the scene where I've opened up multiple times and it didn't do it. And then this time it did. So it's kind of hard to actually document this. But if you have any questions, don't hesitate to email me because this is a weird problem.